Hi, everybody. I wanted to give you some feedback on your first draft. I will try and go as quickly as I can because I would love you to be able to watch one another so that you can increase your understanding and help each other too when you're giving your feedback. All right, so I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to view them as a first-time site visitor to see, check out the usability. And that's students usually prefer that. So there may be a few ums here and there, but I've taken a poll and they say they want to hear the thought process. So I will try and be succinct nevertheless. All right, Chantel. Okay, you've got everything in your footer as you should. Good job. You have your name in your header. This image, we try not to use photos as a logo because they don't reproduce well and they're not scalable. If you remember, Adobe Illustrator is an SVG. It's a scalable vector graphic. That means that it calculates between the vertices when it is enlarged. So it's mathematically going to be sharp and clear, right? It's not like a picture, which is Photoshop, for example, that is rasters and simply pixels. And so when we enlarge pixels, we just see, close-ups of pixels. So for logos, you're going to want to use Illustrator, all right? Okay, nice. Do remove the bag here. All right, and we'll see if this book online has anything in it, but move your contact to the end. That's where people are accustomed to finding it. And remember, we don't want to make people think, believe it or not. I think that if you could get this on one line, we can maybe bring this up just a little bit. Now, you're saying portfolio, but I'm getting a little confused because, and we had this discussion, these are not one site. Artist, publicist, and realtor are not the same site. So you need two sites. If you're going to be an artist publicist, or if you're an artist and a publicist and a realtor, that's three different sites. There's no way around it. They are not combinable. They're not the same. And your user will be very confused. And they want to know that they're going to an expert in something. All right. So here we've got... I don't know, are this looks like a travel blog of some sort, or Instagram, I guess, or TikTok. So that is telling me that it's more content creation or graphic design or social media design or that kind of thing. Quick fix, all you need to do is change this up, change your tagline, all right, to something that matches your work. That would make it more aligned. Okay, for these, you're going to, yes, you have these hooked up. Very good. Take this number out. If you do put a phone number, make sure that it is your free Google Voice, okay, and not, this is the template, but don't be tempted to put your actual number there. You don't want engines crawling that, okay. Okay, this is laid out. Your text is matching. Your headers are matching the same font, so that looks good. The colors are good. Okay, this is the same image here, enlarged. And if I were you, the color's beautiful, but if I were you, I would go ahead and use your phone with natural lighting and try and get a sharp image. All right, and I think you can do that pretty easily. People are very comfortable taking photos of themselves today. You see how this is overlapping on the left here? It's going to do that more. So a quick fix is to make this, what you can do is make this background opaque, not transparent. It is disappearing. It's just when we resize, right, that's not working. So I would do that, make it a solid background, and I would put this in you could put it in a column if you wanted. Do reduce the space here that you have. So you want to check that out. Find something a little more in between on that. Okay, I want to go back to this. You're saying as a realtor, okay? In addition, public relations, media dynamics, individuals to amplify their brand. This is okay to tell people that you do that just in the last line or two because it's about you. and that's okay. But this realtor and seasoned publicist, let's not get into that. Make your choice, put your choice up here, talk about that choice, and then your other skills that you're interested in, just the last line. Okay. They want to know, what your focus is. Okay. Let's remove this page altogether. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the mobile. Okay. So make sure I'm looking at it 100%. When you just choose one of these, this wrapping issue is going to be fixed. You're going to take that out. These, I'm not sure that these are your best examples, but if they are, why not have them individually put into a gallery page? Okay, you posted them once, and hopefully you can download them or you have them somewhere, wherever you created them. And I would put those in a gallery. Okay, let's bring this down to the bottom. I like how clear this is. It's working well. Okay. I don't think when we were over here we had navigation. Yes, we did. Sorry, my bad. We do. I'm sure nobody says my bad anymore. Contact, you want to check that out right here. Okay. And this doesn't appear to be. There we go. Okay. Good. Talked about that. Okay, it is, we talked about that. Okay. It is not uncommon to need to cut down your about paragraphs, okay, when you get to mobile. It may work on your desktop, but when you get to mobile, it's too much scrolling for people. So that's typical. I'm not surprised to see that at all. Work on the spacing there, as you can see. And then you're going to delete that. So you don't have a lot to do for your revision. Really, it's a kind of a quick fix. You'll take this out. You'll move your contact over here, make some edits in your about in your paragraph here, simplify that, and then a few visual edits in your mobile. So you really have a great start here to work with. And the colors are good, right? So that helps. All right, King Ducks production. Let's make sure we take the template logo out and this background. Mentioned a little bit the font that is used here. Let's see. Yeah, this is just too fine. It's 16 points, which is usually good for online. However, it's just the strokes are too fine and too difficult to read. It needs to have the color pumped up a little bit too. You can do that by going into your Wix tool on the left, and about the fourth icon down, you've got the letter and the droplet. That's where you can change global fonts. It's where you can adjust the color. You can make it lighter, whatever you need to do there. Good, this is working. Same issue really with that font. It's a good idea to have the same number of rows. So if you've got one row here, try and have one row for your titles and the same here. Okay. Maybe you want a different thumbnail image for this so that we don't have text over text. Nice. Right? You don't need to have the title there. This works well. Okay. Very good. Very good. Let's see. If this is yours, great. That's great. Commercial. Okay. What we want to do is you want to make sure that your navigation is in the same order as your work examples, okay? Because we shouldn't be scrolling back up. We should just be scrolling down every time we select something, okay? So rearrange that. Okay, just move that over here. Let's see. The about we looked at. This is easier to read. The color is easier. It's just the strokes. Okay. So you'll want a different font. Recommending a sans serif, something like this. Not all caps, but this kind of font. So that would be Avenue Light. Okay. At this size, it might be too light, but something to look at there. Okay. Okay. A little light, a little light. You do want to have enough contrast. And this week you're going to go through your accessibility wizard for Wix, and it will, pull those things out probably, and have you adjust those. Okay, your contact, you may need to create a contact page. That's quickest, just to go ahead and add a new one. These need to be linked. Be careful about, I hope that's a Google Voice. It's easier to just add a new contact page, because then you don't have to worry about linking it. It will just automatically be its own page, and that's fine. Do put it last. So you've got videos, 3 types of videos, and then portfolio. Okay. What you can do is you could put these under this. You have enough room for a drop down. I don't really care for drop downs that much because they do cover content, but I think you can do it here. Put these under your narrative, or combine these in some way. So this is pulled up, and then say photography or something. So we've got film with this, and this, and then photography, and move that to the right. All right, enlarge the logo here, much larger. I do like it. It's nice and colorful. It looks like it's a picture, though, so instead of lines, instead of a vector graphic, so it may not enlarge very well. You may have to take that into Illustrator. Again, we can't really see that very well. You might want to crop that just a little bit. Okay, work on that. This is a stock image, so you want to get rid of that. And I would take this out because it's template. Okay, take all those out. Template. Okay, it's important. So what you want to do is make a list of these things. That's for everybody. Things that are being mentioned, and then you will make a bullet point list, a bulleted list, when you make your revisions, and then you'll submit your link, and I'll be able to see your revisions. And it's not just your revisions. You're making a bulleted list of the feedback that you're getting in this video. Okay? Some people will make revisions, but they won't be the ones that they need the most. All right, great start. Just a little bit of rearranging. Not much at all. And to create a drop-down, all you do is you drag the page over in Pages and Menu. You drag it under one of the pages, and that becomes a drop-down. Okay, so move that to there. All right, just a couple of things. Okay, I like this bunny. I think I've told you that before. Let's bring this up on one line. This could be better at the bottom. People are going to look for it over on the right. I feel like this isn't centered. It could be that it moves. Not so much. Okay, good. Meaningfully cropped. We don't like to crop faces, but it seems like the most important thing is kind of going on around here. So, all good there. Good stuff. Okay, good. Cropping is good. And I don't see duplicates per se, which means same location, same clothing, same lighting, same model. To a site visitor, that looks the same. This is nothing like this, even though it's the same model. It's nothing like it, so they're not duplicates. That one and that one start to feel like duplicates. Okay, just choose the one that has the message, and try not to include the others. It diminishes each other. You just want the one, and it will become more powerful. That's not my favorite. It's a little shocking, given the content that you have here. You're taking us in a certain mood here, and then suddenly we've got this. Okay, it really, you're telling a story. You're leading us down a road, and that looks like a very sudden detour, and then we're back on the road. So it has nothing to do with the quality of the image. It has to do with how it is combined with the other images. Okay, so okay, a little hard to read this. Okay, all caps is always difficult to read, but we're also having to look for it. So let's let's not have it hidden here. The image is very large, and it's competing with this content. Let's try not to have text over images and break it. I'll leave you to find out how you want to fix that. Yeah, a little hard to read and left align, but upper and lowercase is easier for people to read. Okay. I think I would say collections of work. I know it's long, it's really long. Or say collections, and then collections of work. Or say work. But the terminology of project and the header, I think you can pull that together a little better. All good, these are great. Do you need this? Okay, make sure you link up. If to nothing else, make sure you have a LinkedIn that will have your resume and so forth on it. And of course, you're going to correct that and make sure that that is a Google Voice. All right. Okay, so I think that's supposed to land here. I know you're working through it. You'll work that out. You might say about ta-da. And if this is going to be uppercase over here, then let's make it consistent with that. But otherwise, the main thing, your work is looking great and it's laid out well. All right, so that's the main thing. You just need a little cleanup as far as the other stuff. I'd make that bigger. It looks like it probably is a vector graphic. Ta-da should be in here somewhere. It may be there and it's in a different color, but I don't see that. Good. Maybe put that in the middle. A little close there. Okay. Can I make it the same size? Okay, so fix that, and hopefully this does not take us away from your page. You'll want to name your site images. Okay. And you want to make sure that we have access to navigation on every page, so we don't have to go back. Okay. Yeah, so I would try not to lead people away from your site. Okay. With any links, unless you're going directly to, you want them to leave. For example, if we have something going to YouTube, they're not going to come back to our site because the YouTube is curated especially for them, and we can't really compete with that. Okay, so yeah, so you just want to take a look at your mobile. Yeah, so you want to spend some time on that. All right, but it's a great start. Just a little bit of editing. Okay, April. Very colorful, easy to read. You've got a personality. You're being consistent here with this. Nice and fresh. Okay. Okay. You want to work on that. Okay. It's okay to have the home page all caps. This is all right. That looks good. We've got, well, it's the contact page, but you don't need it in both. So maybe move it or something so we're not stacked right there. But it's looking good. And we're going to check out the font because somebody may want to use this font. This is Avenue, but it's 25. Okay. So that tells you what that looks like at that size. This is the 16, but it's not italic. Okay. And it's legible. It's okay to have the home all caps, and it looks like it's supposed to be. So what I would do, consider, maybe you have, but I would consider pinning this or freezing it, depending on what your template's going to call it, so that it's always available. It'll look like this, okay, but it won't disappear. And which is okay. This I think needs to be a little closer to this. Okay, I think it just needs a little proximity. Okay, everything is working. At some point you can make this a little deeper so that you can bring it to land here if you want when you select contact. And then, yeah, you need a little more space and then to bring up the anchor a little bit. But it's looking good, easy to read. I don't know. I mean, either it needs to be centered if you're doing it on purpose, or 2 lines for that. But loving this, super easy to read. Maybe a little space there. Let you work on that. Make sure everything is centered. And yeah, this happens. Yeah. Okay, this is the poker. You could probably reduce some of the explanations for your mobile, right? And then put the description with the work. Linked up, all good. Okay. Great. Very, very little to do. Very little to do. It's looking great. All right, April, good job. Okay, Alvin. Okay. So here's the thing, I know we talk about your name and where it's derived and the meaning and things like that. If you're going to have, your friend here, let's make sure that the images are the same width, and let's put some space. Okay. Also, let's see. We need a gutter space here. Okay. If you could go in and Photoshop the back of that would make more sense. It would help the images. You also want to put perhaps, a little information about this, right? The pet's name would be good. And you want to make sure that this is in your footer. Make sure you've got your social media, if nothing else, your LinkedIn. But otherwise, it reads well. It's easy to read. I was just looking to see if there's the same amount of space. All right. Just a note, when we have just a word or two, whether we call them widows or orphans here, it makes it look like we have a lot more spacing than we do. So if you can get that down to where we don't have the two words here, that's just a tip. Might want to bring that up here. All right. So writer and cinematographer. Okay. I think we need a little space here. I think this needs to be centered. Okay. And you're going to have to, I understand, it's film writer, I'm imagining, right? You're writing for the cinematography. We'll see here when we look at the works. Okay, so these are the photography images of your pets. Okay. So I don't see, okay, this is a video. Okay, good, very good. You've got this here. That's a good thing to have. Okay, okay, good. And this is a video. Okay. Yeah, so what you'll ultimately want to do is have just your videos here. This is a perfect number. I mean, it's looking good. You've got everything equal in your spacing. The font is easy to read. This is easy to read. You've laid it out beautifully, right? Great job. Do need to be centered here. And yeah, we need to be clearer on the writing. We need to find out right away how that's connected. I know, maybe in here, but we need something fast on that. Okay, you have this here. Good. You can put a Google number there. Okay, great layout. The colors, everything is working really well, But yeah, eventually I'd like to see more videos than just two for the purpose of being a cinematographer. Pet photography or pet video photographer, that would all go together and make perfect sense. Okay. So that's just, think about where you're heading on that. Okay. But it's easy to read, little space there. Cut this down a little bit and make sure you have the same width, right? Same padding on both ends. Take the space out. Move this over. I want to see some space here. Yeah. Okay. I mean, they're really great shots. Who wouldn't love looking at the dogs like this? So I think you are really onto something as far as that. I think you said you lived in a college town, so I think that's going to be really great. I'm pretty excited, really, for you. Okay, take phone off or put a Google Voice. It doesn't take long to create that. All right. So you'll just make a bulleted list of the things we talked about, and then you'll submit your link. Well done. Okay, Annie. I love this. I really do. I love that background. Let's make sure that that is at the very bottom in your footer. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Love it. This is good, but I think we need a little space here, but I don't want to take it from here. So, I think in the future, think about, again, take your cell phone and see if you can't do a search and investigate the natural lighting around you and a simple background like you have here. This is a good image. I just want to see something that goes with this because I really love this. Okay. And it may be template, but I can tell you I haven't really seen it used. And I've seen a lot of sites by now. Let's move these over here. Okay. Contact last. You won't need them more. You'll just have 4 up here, and that'll be just right. Okay. If you were able to edit these, you could avoid kind of duplicating that. That might help. Okay. I think you could probably put a little more spacing here. Try and be consistent with some of the spacing that you have here, which is good and strong. I would continue to try and have a little bit. You don't have to go too far out, right? But just a little more. And of course, anytime you can, if you can keep these the same, depth by enlarging an image, or I don't see how you can do that though with the format that you have. But it's always good to have the same. But you do have this the same. Another thing you can do, if done well, otherwise it could seem trite, I guess, but you could use a mobile phone mock-up, and you can put these in that, right? So, that would help keep them consistent as well. All right, I do like that. Make sure that's not your personal number. Okay. All right. Nice, very nice. Okay, love it. We don't have a lot of purple picked up here, but that's okay for now. Maybe you want to go towards that blue a little bit. Not noticeably, because you've got nice contrast, but just a little, very little. Okay. Okay. Loving that. Okay, everything's easy to read. That's the first thing, right? Content is super important. All right, great job. Very minor corrections. I would like to see this come down a little bit. But yeah, okay. There's very little to do still. All right, great job. Okay, Caroline, so good to see you. Congratulations on having your several listings this week. I thought you said 10, maybe? So kudos there. I was thinking that maybe these could be more or less buttons. And let's see what font we're using here. Oswald. Oswald can be good. I don't know that you don't need something a little more traditional. You might even want all caps. That could be an option. Removing the question mark and making it more authoritative, perhaps. We have what you're hunting for, or we have, what you're seeking, or something. You'll know because you're good at that. And then I think I think this could be a link, a button. It can be a simple button. It could be black and white. So this could be white text over black. And I would want to see them. Yeah. This is centered and it has this much space, and this would push over to here. Okay. Yeah. Or you could put this here and this here. The other thing is I would leave some space between those for sure. So I want to be able to, this is great, looks good. I want to be able to link that. Love this, always loved that. This is, great copy here. All clean. The all, I was a little confused about the all. That may be something you're still working on. Bring this down and make sure you do have your LinkedIn. I'm not going to look at it right now because I don't want to go away from the site. Okay. And, okay. This is working very well, and I can read it, and I have read it. I don't know if you can reduce some of this, because for what you're doing, you can, instead of numbering it, you can just take out the roll, because we see very clearly what it is you do on every page. So that's awesome. But I think I would take that out in this case because we know what you do. The job role is really intended for somebody. If you are showing a video, we don't know what role somebody had. They could be the writer, the cinematographer, the video editor, or all of those things. So we need a little guidance on that. But we know that you're assisting buyers, although you could have this here and just take this out. Let's see, I'm not sure if you could say MLS. You can take this out and just say ethical, or, with integrity, cultural competence, marketing knowledge. You could have your marketing terms here and then definitely go into the home, which is what your goal is, right? If somebody else is selling their video work, you're selling these homes. You're selling yourself, but you're also trying to sell these homes. So I think this can be edited down a little bit to serve you and your goals. I'm just leaning towards this font that you've already begun here. It's working okay. The extra light maybe is what you need here. Or like I said, maybe all caps. It's such a short word and it's so heavy. There's just something about this. I would explore some other fonts. I mean, I know where it can look good, but you may have more information on this page visually, and maybe it doesn't feel like the right style here. I want to see, I'm tempted to see something a little more. Maybe it's the light will work. It works here. Will it work up here? Maybe. And I want to see, I guess that's the thing too, is this is not centered. So it could be, it moves, and it does. That's to be expected. Okay, so this is Helvetica. And this is working as well. So I would think this, you can have this larger. Try it if you like this, that's fine. It just seems like a very short word to have something that heavy as Oswald. Does that make sense? It may be that it's perfect, and like I said, if you have a style that is your brand, then forget I said anything. Let's see, so I also think I would move it over to the left. And then I think you won't have the problem as much. Okay, you might be able to keep this if it's over on the left. That might work. That font may work. Okay, but I think I would left align it. Just a lot of white space. Okay, nice, all looking good. So easy to read. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd want to be consistent. I like what you have here. I think I would be consistent with the other page. right? But terrific job here. Terrific, Carolyn. All right. I was wondering about whether, if this is an office, then that would make sense. Okay. And hopefully that is either the office number or, and I know as a realtor you need to have people give your cell number out, but you want to do that after you've emailed them or they've been vetted in some way, right? You don't have time to waste with people calling this number and fishing for something or trying to sell you something. Center this heading here. Okay. All right, great job. Let's see how we are here. Yeah, I think less of a question, right? As far as in your title, it would be fine in paragraph copy, I think. But I think we want to say more like we have what you're looking for, that kind of thing. Good. Close that space. I think this looks great, and you want to close the space on the mobile. Maybe bring that up and center it if you want. Because you have this low, you can center that. Just a little. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Maybe this comes out. Center that. That I think can come out. And you probably have something planned for that. If so, then just hide it. And then you're going to have your information here, and that's going to look good. Like you have it here. Great job, great job. Coming together really well, and I hope you sell a lot of homes this month. All right, Pierre. All right, you've got everything here, just some edits that you'll want to make sure you set some time aside. It does take a while. Make sure you set some time to do that, all right? Link up your LinkedIn. Otherwise, you need to remove it, but that's the one I think I recommend that everyone use as, a professional. It's become very much like other sites now, but it's a good place to put your resume because you will forget these dates and things. If you have all of that as you go in LinkedIn, it's all going to be there. All right, so you want to update this down here. Remove this background. It's stock and it's been seen and used quite a bit. If this is your home address, make sure you take that off. And this is a little stark. I don't mind the color. But it's more modern than this feel. This image we need to make smaller, and we try not to use parallax scrolling if we're covering up faces like that, okay? So I would make that much smaller, and we have all the space you want to remove. Can drag these things up. Left align this content. Make an opaque background here and pin it so it's not rolling over things, and transparent. Remove the search button, just select it and delete it. That will help that. Here I think what you can do is, it can be red, but I would use the same font that you have here. And let's see, so that's Avenue. Okay, at that size, that's what it looks like for 80. You can make it red, but this, I would think it would look better aligned and in the same font size. So just go through, make sure you're using the same font in your paragraph text throughout. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you probably need to bring this down a little bit and put about title there, a header in this font. And you are going to left align. If you could edit that down, it would probably work better. Okay. We have a different font here. Okay. So, right, so you're using Georgia in some places. Let's see what we have here. We go to portfolio. I'm wondering if it was just the template that had the green, if it was the green and blue template. You can go into, on the left, your pages and menu in your Wix editor. You can select the icon with the letter and the droplet, and you can change or remove your background. You would remove it by selecting the background and then changing the color to white, and then it won't be there. If you chose to do it, then you just need to kind of carry it through on some other things. So yeah, you'll want to work on some of that because I am at 100% and that's being cropped off. Different font here. But so far the videos are looking good. You probably don't need to have that instruction there. And then that's going where it should. Yeah. I think the bright green, it reminds me of a green screen, but I don't think it's working with what you're doing. I would choose a color that is in one of your films. Gray always works. Sort of a tan works. All right. But the green, not so sure it's working for your stuff. If it were all, art like that, probably. But I'd still tone it down a little bit. All right. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. Good, all linked up. Good, good, good. All right, let's see. Got one more. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and look at how to send your get feedback link. You're going to, when you are in Wix, you're going to go up to the site menu here, and the drop down will say get feedback, and that's the link you're going to send me, and that will help me look at your mobile. All right. And the instructions are with some of your other things. All right. So let's see what we have here. This font, you'll want to just make it black or dark gray. Hard to read. Looks good. The color looks good with this image, but so would a dark brown or black or dark gray would also, or taupe would also look well, but we try to stay away from drop shadows unless it's the only solution we have, and you have other options here because there's a simple background. Let's see. I noticed that I had to select the back button to get to your work. It could be that your navigation is here, it's just not working in these colors. They're not showing up. So that will be a very important thing to do. This looks really great. You have a broken image here. It probably doesn't need to be there. So I would just delete that. The yellow is working. It's picking up on this. The blue, less so. You could make it black if you wanted to. But those are working. Make sure that you have this in the footer. Try not to crop people's faces. Um, okay. Uh-huh. Um, I'm not really sure what this is saying, not only the art, but also the creation. So kind of work that out to simplify it. Okay. So maybe there's content here. I don't, okay, it's white. So yeah, we'll change that. All right, and I'm not sure if there's a mobile link or not. I will take another look at that. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. You've done a great job. I'm so thrilled with your progress at this stage, and I look forward to seeing your revisions.